This is the Pilot's News Briefing Podcast. I'm Frank Daniels. With me today is Ana Risano from the Pilot's Newsroom, bringing us the latest news in Moore County. And you just said that you were in a Southern Pines Council meeting, right? And then a construction owner of a construction company, is that the way you might describe him accurately?
I'd say a builder.
A builder, thank you. That is probably the better way. Sparked a story for you.
Yes.
On housing construction costs. Maybe that's the succinct way to say it. Do tell. Explain, please.
Yes. That's the origin. This was many months ago now, maybe over the summer. Travis Green was presenting a project to the Southern Pines Town Council, and he was talking about what makes a project economically feasible, especially when wanting to address this attainable housing topic that Southern Pines has been discussing for a while, called missing middle housing, which is housing like townhomes or smaller units that are in between the large single-family homes and the apartments that are more perhaps attainable or affordable for residents. And so I followed up on those comments, and to no surprise, I think most people know, housing costs, the price of a house has risen a lot in the last few years, but so have the costs to build that house, from land to acquiring permits to materials to labor, all the pieces.
I calculated out your comparison to the price of a house for a consumer has risen almost 75% in the last 3 years.
Oh, wow. I didn't do the math.
Yeah. I was curious because sometimes numbers to me I need a third number. Sometimes percentages work better for me to understand, but sometimes it's a hard number. It really just depends.
And was that for the average home sales price?
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct, which is how you opened your story, if I recall correctly. That's kind of where you started your analysis. And then you spoke to Sandra Barnhart with the Moore County Regional Association of Realtors, isn't that?
Yes, the
Mid-Carolina. That's right.
Yes, Mid-Carolina Regional Association of Realtors. Whew. Yes, because they have some lovely graphs on their website. And she, in short, explained that lots of things impact the market, including interest rates, supply and demand, other things. And in Moore County, we're seeing a high demand, or have seen a high demand, but low supply. So a lot of larger subdivisions are underway right now. There's 500 plus homes off of NC5 for the Martin Farms property, a couple other 200 to 300 home subdivisions in Aberdeen. Trying to think what else. There's also a bunch of apartments, but those aren't addressing this missing middle need.
Right, because the missing middle target is to make more homes available for sale, right? But those, as you mentioned, those subdivisions do fall into that, as long as they are affordable for whatever a household's income is. And you referenced the study that the Mid-Carolina Regional Association of Realtors, and actually their sister organization, I think it's the North Carolina Realtors Association and the North Carolina Home Builders Association, both participated in that study, I think. And actually, we're not going to quote that, but I know the North Carolina Association of Realtors were the ones who initially commissioned that study that was done by, now I can't remember the name of the firm that... Bowen, thank you. Bowen National, that found a housing gap. And you mentioned in your story, that's why I brought it up, that there's a significant number of people who are already owners who are housing cost burdened.
Yes.
Which is a technical term, meaning they spend more than 30% of their income on their housing Watch mortgages and taxes, I think, is the gist of that.
Yep.
I don't know. I think, but then you went on to kind of outline Green's costs and stuff, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, there's a number of numbers in there.
Yes.
There's a whole section called By the Numbers. So we don't have to get into all of them. People can read them, but the prices of things have kind of during the pandemic is when that all started. Before the pandemic, items like lumber would go up maybe 1 or 2% every year, kind of normal inflation of cost. And then when the pandemic hit, plants shut down, demand went really high because people wanted to buy houses. So there was less material, prices kind of skyrocketed. He gave a rough estimate of seeing like 15% increases per year. And that hasn't gone down. Just now it's closer to 2% on top of that already raised price.
The rate of increase is back down to what it once was.
It's a good way to say it.
But it did not equalize to pre-pandemic costs. It just stayed up high.
Yeah, he gave a number of good examples of like an average new home 5 years ago could be bought for, say, $140 per square foot. Now it's $180 to $190 per square foot.
And another instance where I did a calculation, because $130 and $140 a square foot, to me, I don't quite equate that. So I wondered what size house and how much. And I kind of think it seems like maybe like a small 3-bedroom or a 2-bedroom house around 1,500 square feet at the 130 to 140 range would be around $200,000. At the 180 to $190 a square foot would be around $300,000. So it seems to me like a pretty significant increase.
Right.
But that's a small home. I mean, and I saw in the study that he referenced another study about the cost of the materials that you put in there, like the percentages of how much a builder.
Yes, so that was from Chris Millis, who is with the North Carolina Home Builders Association. But yes, 64% roughly of person buying a home is just the construction cost.
Yeah, that's what. And it also said in there that an average square footage of a home is about twice what I was using as my marker. So about 2,700 square feet is like the average across the country for the size of the single family homes that were being built in that period of the study. 2024, 20.
Yes.
2023.
It's either 2024 or 2021.
Well,
are you
there, as you said, there are a lot of numbers.
Yes.
And we don't want to get too confusing, which we may have, that boat may have sailed.
Yes. We could stop, though. We can bring it back to shore.
Yeah, let's bring it back to shore. Sorry, I'm going all over the place because it's a lot. It's interesting, but there are a lot of numbers that you use to outline the price, the median home sales price, the factors that go into that, including inflation rate, which you mentioned was way down around COVID, but then of course shot up along with general, did I say inflation?
You said inflation.
And interest rates.
Interest rates, yep.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. But kind of coincided with inflation, which also impacted the materials costs.
Right.
And there's one more factor, this was sparked for you at a municipal meeting, and I thought one other interesting factor was the number he cited. I think it was Millis as well, about regulations and the cost.
Oh, yes. Yes, there is a study a handful of years now ago that showed that regulations from local governments to federal governments have increased general costs for construction. I think the number is about 23% costs have increased because of increased regulations.
Yes,
that's what that was.
That's what I recall as well. It was a 2021 study, and that's where you and I were kind of making sure we were accurate with our discussion.
Mm-hmm.
It said 23% for single family homes can be attributed of the cost of single family home construction can be attributed to government regulations of some form.
Yes, slightly different than what I said, so thank you for that.
But not too far off from what you said. But, I think that, we've kind of gone into the weeds a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but, I think that pretty much sums up.
Yeah.
Or maybe not sums it up, but details it out.
Mm-hmm. A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Go read the story.
Go read the story. And if you have questions for Anna after you do read the story, you can send her an email to anna@thepilot.com. That's ANA at thepilot.com. You can also send me an email to frank@thepilot.com if you have questions about the podcast and what we do. And that's FRANK@thepilot.com. That's the latest news in Moore County.
Thanks, Frank.
Thank you.